We're talking today with some trustees and some people affiliated with St. John's on some of the developments that they're making on the fruit belt. And I have a question that we're talking about some of the programs, but how does a city keep a project down for 13 years, and how do we let them, as the people in the city, what do we need to do moving forward to not allow this to happen anymore? Because if we recognize we're in a food desert and we want to make a change, you guys are bringing the change to the table, how do we help you guys make that transition easier?
We have potential new leadership now in the city council with the two African-American women who were elected. And as everybody knows, our pastor also ran for the Ellicott district seat. The purpose for running, and he ran it was the leadership of the church that he didn't particularly want to run. It was the leadership of the church said that you need to run because we want to elevate the discussion in the city. We want to sharpen the discussion to draw focus to answer that very question. So how could this kind of potential be overlooked and ignored and frankly obstructed? Really, frankly, we would welcome the new Ellicott District Council member to take a big piece of the credit. If she were to come forward and say she is willing to promote this project, as we have been asking city leadership to do for many years, we think that helps to advance the cause of and the possibility that this whole thing will move forward. We've had to go, frankly, outside the city to find co-developers who are willing to work with us on developments that we're working on, the rehabilitation of McCarley Gardens, the rehabilitation of the St. John Tower. We had a local developer who worked along with our pastor, who is a master developer himself. And city politics, he was intimidated away from working with St. John. And that's kind of like a template of how things work in our experience over the years, is that we might find an ally somewhere in the business or political community, but they're told, if you want to continue to function in our game here, the game that we control as political leadership, which we quite frankly have referred to in the past as corrupt, then you need to play along and you need to back away from your affiliation or your association with St. John. So let me just tell it like it is.
Has a new council member come out in support yet?
No, not yet, but let's give it time.
Hope keep up alive.
Yeah.
And I just have a question, because I'm still struggling to get my mind around if you're a city developer or a city affiliate, if you live in the city, you recognize the need for this. Can you just give me an example of what is a pushback argument? Like, how do you even justify not supporting this? Like, what is an example of how they justify? Because for 13 years, that's a long amount of time. That's more than half of my life. I was 5 or 6, right? At 13 years ago. So how do you just and in your mind, I don't understand. It's not that it gives economic, it gives financial opportunities, it gives food and health opportunities, it gives educational opportunities. How do you justify what some of those arguments people use to push back in unsupport of this project?
Well, first of all, let me just jump in here. A council member is elected by people in their district. And one of the reasons that they represent is to represent those constituents. There are services, goods and services that taxpayers pay taxes for. Police and fire, garbage pickup, snow removal, that sort of thing. But there are other concerns that constituents have. And so we have to lean to those council members in our district. Now, they're supposed to support those issues. That's all we've looked for at our 2 churches, 2 campuses, and 1 village, to look for support, to look for them to represent us. We don't believe that there should be conditions tied to representation. That's all we've asked for. And yet we've had to be a part of that. And we'd like to know, frankly, why that is. We're talking about $1 billion. Do you know that's 1,000 million? Economic development. We can turn our area around, improving the quality of life for our constituents, health, safety, and welfare. And we've had to actually rumble and knock on doors and try to get things done. And we have not been able to do that. As Elder Covington said, we have to tell it like it is. But there is hope that now, with this new leadership, they can take this project and promote this project and take credit for allowing us to move forward so that folk can get those services. We have things held up like the market and other things moving forward, and we need their support.
Well, that's a good reason for y'all to be on this station. You know, because I mean, look, you already know we have a history on this station of bringing it and telling our story like it is. And by the way, elected, you don't need to have to be begged too long to get on this issue. I'm just saying that's one side of the story. That's my side. Don't wait to be begged to get on this issue. Meanwhile, I think this points to why projects like this need to be over this airwave, pretty regular, even if it's in a pilot kind of situation where we tool up and grow up the consciousness of the community over a period of good 3 months to make them healthy and ready for action. And I mean, this project alone, I wasn't kidding. It's showing the tricks that go on when you don't hold your electeds accountable and when they're too slow to get to the table of the people. They have no problem in providing settings for everybody else, but when good, strong discussion of the community is going on, it shouldn't be hard for them to open up one of those chambers without a whole lot of rattle in their doorway. But anyway, let me just say, I got Murray still in the building. If he can pick up one of the mics, I want him to drop something in on this conversation. If he can get in, or you come in the room, either or. And I'm just saying, we're in a political shake-up moment. We got seats about to change. So they know people gonna be making deals, and some people gonna be doing what they always do, breaking deals and coming with new promises. So the community got to be awoke. Ain't that right, Murray?
All the way down to the mayor's race. Maybe you might have to have a special election. You might even have, I don't know, an assembly race. So I believe that New York State is getting ready to have some decisions to make on who we want to put in office and what direction we want to go. And I'm really sure that when I think on the different,
That's a my deal. Me too.
All the way down. So all of the Congress, we get some of those folks in here. We got our question. Thank John coming over there. So they've been here 2 days in a row. Pushing the Black billions. That's crucial for our community. But I like to see LLCs for young kids. Parents get their kids in special vision. But
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Can I give a quick recap? I know we had some technical difficulties, so you guys couldn't hear, but he was talking about how it's a chance for us to put a lot of new people in office to make some change, right? He wants to also say thank you guys for coming to the station. Those you guys are working on the issue. Sorry, I got to give you a little blur, but I think we might also have a caller coming on. But basically, he's talking about the chance for us to put some new people in office, see some new faces like you guys were talking about, because if we can change the system, maybe take out some of these blocks that are holding us back, the potential that we'd have to change the city. And so that just comes down to a little bit of some of the people who have the money, but also comes down to the constituents to work on putting the faces that will really put us first in those positions of power so we can row this boat to where we need to get to. Do we have a caller? We do have a caller as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Great.
Good. Great.
Betty Jean.
So
That's Betty Jean Grant, y'all.
Right.
And I am excited because this is what we need to hear. You know, when you talk about black billions, you talk about black owned, you talk about black ownership. Had that been for the Bishop St. John's Church under Pastor McCarty and Pastor Smith and Pastor Chapman, we would not have all the black ownership of land in the Ellicott District. So I'm glad to see that they were visionary and they saw probably what we're saying right now. That if you don't get it for yourself, nobody else is going to get it for you. So I'm so excited. I'm working with everybody on the Black Buffalo Black Billions to have our youth to have a way where they can get trained, do some of these construction jobs, where they get trained to open some of these businesses that's going to be open. Because right now, there's only one race they're left behind. We know what race that is. And it's because we did not strategize, we did not plan, we did not unite, and we did not have solidarity going backwards. But going forward, we have that. I'm so glad that Larry Holman is working with the St. John's Baptist Church. I'm glad that we're with the Warriors, our partners, hold meetings and let the committee know that hope is still alive. Hope is still alive because we got a chance to train our youth, to give them some vision, give them some knowledge that they are part of the future. They are our future. We don't prepare them, we're not preparing ourselves. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm so happy about this show. I'm happy about the Black Buffalo Billion. I hope that we'll enjoy St. John's Credit Union, put our money in one place, and we can have leverage. So with that note, I want to say congratulations, Jen Anderson. I know you were out for a while. Hope you're back.
I'm back. And glad to be back, sister. Thank you. All right. Well, much love. You got the mic? Oh, were you saying something? No.
Well, thank you, Miss Grant. Thank you for calling in. Just a couple of things. In terms of youth training, I think one thing we could have raised earlier, but there's been a lot to talk about. We developed, is it 79 townhomes?
77.
77 townhomes in the Fruit Belt. On those construction projects, the minority women business, the MWBE percentage was the highest of any development in the region at about 75%. So a lot, 60%. But so you drive by almost any construction site in the area, and you can park outside the site and wait and just try to see a person of color on that work site. It's very difficult to do. But in those projects where we've been involved, where we've led the project or been co-developers, that's what we do. And we see it as a training opportunity for young people. I believe I heard Mr. Holman referring to LLCs helping. This is something that our pastor has encouraged our congregants and our young people to do for years. It will help you to get an LLC, but get an LLC and then find a way for you to fit in. And it could be anything from making sandwiches to like doing some serious contribution to the overall construction work. For example, at McCarley Gardens or at the St. John Tower or any future project. There's a lot of different ways to get involved, and having an LLC helps to facilitate that. If someone wanted help developing or creating an LLC for themselves and their business, I think that's something that we could do. That's something our pastor has helped with in a hands-on way.
You know, it sounds like we got better opportunities on the Black Billion than we got on the Billion for the stadium. I'm just saying. I mean, in fact, I'm just saying, you know, give a contact number, how people can get in touch with you the easiest ways. And if there's any special dates, drop that. And wow.
With regard to the $600 million project, what we're doing now is we're starting 8 months out, and we're soliciting electricians, plumbers, carpenters, roofers. Minority contractors are asked to get their OSHA certifications out. Small businesses are we're asking to submit their insurance profiles, and we'd like them to send that information, to send it to our wecgod.office@gmail.com. We'd like them to send that information immediately so that it will go to our human resource department, and they can also use this number, but that's our church number. No, just the the email address would be sufficient at this time. Some of the line items that are involved with this project includes roofing, windows, doors, culinary, cleanup, that sort of thing. And so we're trying to get folk to come out now. We spent almost $300,000 in the past getting the word out on these projects, sewer, demolition, masonry. And so this is what we're doing right now for our $600,000 project. 600 million, excuse me. 600 million. Please forgive me.
Might put an M on there. Got million, but I'm saying,
Please forgive me. 600 million.
That new math, huh?
$600 million.
And this is what we need in the city, right? We talk about bringing what we can to the table. You guys are giving us a platform, teaching people how to fish. And not only that, you're teaching them where to get their poles at, where to get their boots at, and you might even let them get a hat, right? You guys are giving us all the tools to be successful. And now it really comes down to the support that we can have to help make sure this goes through. I know we talked about the political side, but are there any other ways that a person can support or that can help, like we said, bring this to fruition? Because it sounds like an issue that's not just gonna help me or my friend, but help us as a community. Because whether you know how to cook or you know how to put up electricity, we all have a part in this project. So maybe the question might be, how can this get to the heart space of a regular person? If I'm not a contractor, not affiliated with St. John's, but I want to help, how can I help?
And for your answer, oh, there you go. Mary got a word too in here.
Well, I hear you guys talk about financing and all that there. I'll give you one better than that. American Rescue Plan funding. They came to the city of Buffalo. Right now, our organization applied for that funding, and guess what happened? We got denied. Stop the Violence Coalition will not receive a penny of that money. So how can we do the work with our youth in the community when we get denied through red tape? And those things still play a major part in the work that St. John's is doing, and Mr. Anderson and myself. And now we have to go down there tomorrow and get on the Common Council floor. It says we deserve this funding. If you give it to Bray Miller and other places like that there, now I was going to go there. It's called the Shake Up. And you give it to them. And now when we have boots on the ground organizations in churches and all that there, and we play this game, it's time for us to start going to City Hall and telling them, we are the people, we put you in this place, and we demand these funding to come to our organization and to our churches and anyone that's out there doing the right thing. That's what it's all about, folks. The shake-up is the shake-up on the Jim Anderson Show.
Hey, listen, and you know what? Other good ideas come, because I know on all them good projects you got over there at St. John and in the Fruit Belt community, y'all can use some peacekeepers over there. I think they do contractual, don't have to worry about carrying no gun, that know how to talk to the community. So I'm sure they'd be interested in some peace work over there. I'm just a dot connector, connected everything that's in the mix. This is great. I don't have a lot of questions. I'm surprised. Callers, you could call in if you still want to call in. Yeah, we would have took some strong comment if you think you got one, but I'm telling you, this is about building community. You know, one brother called it nation building. Well, that's what we're doing. I mean, and now we can see clearly. See, it used to be some of the politicians wouldn't say nothing, but now we know why some organizations couldn't do what they wanted to do to deliver, because somebody was blocking the door. I thought George Wallace was dead, but never mind me. You know me, I'm just subject to say any old truth that pop up in our history. And I think we got a call. Caller, you're on the air. Welcome.
Yes, good morning. I know I called early, but I just want to say it's a very important meeting Wednesday at the Jonathan Grider Community Center at, I think, 5 p.m. to discuss 33. So we have a chance to fill that in to restore the way it used to be. We have a chance to do it and just put a tunnel there that's going to appreciate the community and also going to be there forever, and also it has been out of fruit space. So we ask you to come out. If you live on Humboldt Parkway in the Kentucky area, you can come. If you live anywhere in the city, please come to the Jonathan Grider Center Wednesday, this coming Wednesday at 5 p.m. to listen to how we can restore the building the dirt, not the concrete, and anything, building the dirt, to have that parkway where it used to be before they drag it up. Please come Wednesday, coming Wednesday, at the Young Grant Center, it's right here.
Right on, right on. Always just good, see good information, draw good information. You look what good people do. I don't have anything else to say.
There was one question that came
Go
in
ahead.
online. They asked about the parents' involvement in your programming.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. The parents, number one, we want them, number one, to be involved. To get the parents involved in the program, again, we invite you to come. Give us your name. Give us the names of any of your children or friends that you know that empower education in our children, because if they don't get educated, we can't help them. And the only way we can help them is to expand on the knowledge that we can empower them with. So parents are our number one. Before you get the children involved, we want the parents involved. As we spoke with the parent on yesterday, with 3 lovely young ladies that are outstanding. It just blew me away. And I loved every minute of it because the parent was there, the aunt was there to support them. This is what we are about. We have to get everyone involved in getting our children educated. Because if you don't have the education, you can't sit at the table.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you have the education, no one can take it away. And I encourage all of the students that I've had in the past when I was teaching, working as an administrator in the building, go on, get all the education you can. If you have it on your bucket list to get your doctorate, I don't care how old you are, get it. Go ahead, because they can't take it away from you. But if you don't have it, then you can't do the things that are necessary to get you where you want to be.
Indeed.
And also understanding the process. There's a process that's put in place that you try and follow. And as a young man spoke earlier, when you adhere to the process and then it breaks down, then there's very much concern about that. And so I concur with what has been said, that we must get our young people, get them together, allow them to help, to allow them to put their ideas forth and be a part of what's being done, not just to hand them a product and say, okay, this is for you, but to have them there. Our young people should be able, we should have the Board of Education, when we talk about opportunities, we should have young people running the Buffalo Common Council, a junior network that can run it once a week or once a month. They should be training them. They should adopt them through the Buffalo Board of Education. Mm-hmm. There's an opportunity for them, instead of just, okay, well, here's the Board of Ed, instead of just doing their budget, bring those young people and teach them. Each council member should take an intern and work with those kids and allow them to run the city for a week or a month. I mean, there are a million ideas, but who's going to take, this is something that the new leadership can consider. There's a million things to be done. Right. And we simply recognize that at our 2 churches, 2 campuses in 1 village. And moving forward, there should be a better collaboration, a partnership to make these things happen.
And I'm sorry. Just on that note, with the Buffalo Board of Education, we have a student that sits on the board. So therefore, as Trustee Norwood said, we should have those students sit at the Common Council and learn all they can learn about being a future leader.
And get credit for it.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's okay.
It is.
If we have time, just one more thing I'd like to raise in terms of the effort to mobilize support. We sent out a letter which we published publicly, I believe, both in the Challenger and the Criterion. Sent an open letter to the NAACP, the Urban League, and others, encouraging them, asking them to step forward and address this obstruction, this blockage of St. John and Gethsemane's efforts to move these projects forward in the interest of the entire community. So those letters are out there. I believe they were sent 2 weeks ago, and we're still waiting for a response. So just wanted to leave that here.
That's it. Look, you left it at the right place because look, we need our strong organization and our political leaders to not be slow on getting to the people's table, to not be having to reach out to 100 times before they act. The people are going to win. The people are going to have their way. And the political shakeup in the city ain't over. You know, the seat you sit in, you can be unseated from. That's not a threat. But we're raising up people in the community who are not going to have it anymore. And I think your discussion pulled back a big curtain on some of the tricks that have been going on. And all I want to say, people, let those with ears hear, you know, and then those with legs and a voice stand up and speak up and stay tuned for what's coming next, because it's a happening right here. Don't you watch it on TV, you be in it. We out of here. I want to thank y'all. This ain't the last time. I'm good to be home, and ain't nothing but flavor all over this place. We live, Buffalo. If you ain't with it, you better get with it. I'm telling you, we live. We out of here. Peace and love. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.